Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. Friday, April 1st, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, The Bottom Line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, my friend. Before we get started, I just want to say I saw somebody talk about coming out of retirement.
Ooh.
At 49 years old, talking about my man T.O. He wants to join the fan control league, in which my brother Berkeley played in last year. It's an amazing league. Played on the team with Johnny Manziel. And it got me to thinking, I'm like, if T.O. could come out of retirement at 49, I'm 10 years younger. You know what?
Break him out, Braylon.
Bring my cleats out,
him
man. You know
out.
what I'm saying? So,
Turn him around. Let him see the back of him, too.
oh, yeah, these things are dope.
Look at that.
man.
No. Turn around. You got the BE number 1 on there. Let him know. Let him know.
So these were a special gift from a guy that designed shoes down in Miami. I used to live in Miami in the off seasons. He designed them for me. And I retired the year I got them. So I never, ever got a chance to wear them. So if T.O. was coming out of retirement, dang it, I'm coming out too.
And you are talking to the 9th greatest wide receiver to ever play in college football history. Maz, I tell you, when I saw that list and I saw my guy there at number 9, brought a tear to my eye and a smile to my face. Good afternoon to you, Tom Mazawey.
Hey, Ryan, we missed you yesterday. Hey, Bray. Happy Friday. Big Game Boomer puts out some good stuff on Twitter. Braylon was a little low. I think he should have been top 5, but
That's my guy
what the
right
hell
there.
do I know?
Pretty cool, though, Bray. I'm telling you, you forget sometimes how great, because we see every day. I work with you every day. To me, you're Braylon Edwards, my friend.
That's who I am.
Right.
Right.
You forget how great.
WrestleMania geek.
Seriously, you forget how great you actually were when you played, because again, not to be all soft on you, but I don't see a football player when I look at you. You're just my friend Braylon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How sweet.
So
I
when
really
you see
appreciate that.
the name on this list, it's remarkable.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the list. Yesterday we talked about, very humble and very honored to be on that list. Big Game Boomer, shout out to you. Appreciate you writing me into that list. I had a great time in college. There's a lot of reasons to why I am number 9. I had some great players around me. I had a great offensive line. Dave Botts was a guy I'm going to talk about today when we talk about the Michigan spring game. But just had a lot of guys I played with. A lot of things went into being number 9. You saw that right there.
I saw that.
But, at the end of the day, people ask you, they say, how do you feel about this list? And should you be on this list? Should you be higher? Should you be lower? Blah, blah, blah. Listen, when you talk to medical care companies, do they talk about they're just okay? When you talk about Chevrolet and Les Stanford, they say, we're decent, we're pretty good. They say we're the best. Find new roads. When you talk about Pepsi, does Pepsi say they're not better than Coke? No, they say they're better than Coke.
When you talk about vodka,
you talk about Gypsy. You talk about Gypsy
vodka
being the best. So with that being said, I deserve to be on that damn list at number 9.
absolutely.
Hey, when you talk about birthdays, you wish a happy 50th birthday
D-Mac!
to our brother, Darren McCarty. Happy 50th, my man.
You know what? It is so cool. And earlier today, everybody knows if you're a sports fan in Detroit that's north of 30 years old.
Yeah.
You remember that goal in 1997 to clinch the Red Wings' first Stanley Cup in 42 years,
general.
right?
Yeah.
42 years to win the Stanley Cup. And to watch that goal with Darren McCarty standing next to me today, to watch his reaction to himself scoring the goal, that was pretty cool on his 50th
So
birthday.
cool. And pointing out, hey, watch what I'm going to do here now. Watch what I'm going to do. Look what I'm going to look at the bench. That was good. And showing it to your young nephew, Robbie Ermanni.
He's in
who
the
was
house.
-9 at that point.
Man, that stuff is cool. We'll get to Robbie Ermanni in a second. Let you introduce your nephew, who's going to do all type of great things at De La Salle with Coach Rome. But similar moment I had with D-Mac. We were at Wednesday Night Raw, December 27th. It was at LCA. I was sitting front row. He was sitting front row. And after Monday Night Raw, I got a chance to talk to him. I said, hey, you ever just look up? He was like, what are you talking about? I said, you got 4 banners up there. I said, I've never had a chance to talk to somebody that had a banner up top in front of him and look it up. I said, have you ever just looked up? He said, nah. I said, D-Mac, look up. And then he looked up and he got emotional. So, man, it was just great. He's one of the best people you ever meet. Happy birthday, D-Mac.
We got a big show for you guys today. Lots of football talk. But I do want to say this right off the jump. I hate, and I don't use that word lightly, I literally hate April Fool's Day. Cannot stand it. And I'll look at our own Twitter feed earlier today. Throw it up. Our own Twitter feed that has "Welcome to Detroit, Kyler Murray." Look at that. Traded to the Detroit Lions today. No, he wasn't.
We gave up way too much for him.
Gave up way too much. Maybe it's Julian Edelman. Did you see he's coming out of retirement today to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
That almost made me sick.
Breaking. Buccaneers signed Julian Edelman. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you see what, Braylon? April Fools.
That's going to happen for real.
That is going to happen.
That's going to happen for real.
Yeah,
that's going to happen for real.
You know what I'm going to say when that happens?
Told you.
I told you.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say when that happens.
Sure. I do hate the April Fools. I dated a girl on April Fools, and I think that's why we broke up, because I realized it was a joke.
Maybe it's LeBron James who today said he's done for the season.
He needs to be.
LeBron James.
See you in the fall, he says.
Oh, yeah, see you in the fall.
Yeah.
He is out for the season. LeBron James tweeted that out.
He needs to be.
April Fools.
They lost again last night. They got run out of the gym.
Well, he didn't play last night.
I don't care.
It didn't matter if he does play. And we'll talk about that in the basketball segment. But just sad to see what's going on. You got a guy in 37 who's one of the best players of all time. He's still trying to get to Kareem so that he can become the number one player of all time. At 37 years of age, he's averaging 30 points a game. Just sad to see that he's having such an amazing season. But it's marred because of what he did in the front office.
That's because he has to do that. He has no one else to do it. All those superstars he signed, they're all washed up. They're bums.
You're 100%. That's his fault, by the way. He brought this roster together, so that is his fault. But it doesn't matter that he has to do that. The extraordinary thing about it is that he can do that at 37 years of age. It's never been done. Only I think Karl Malone is the closest. Karl Malone averages under 30. It's not that he's doing it. It's the fact that he's able to do it at 37 years old.
Do you think the reason he's doing it is a selfish reason? I mean, I don't give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't help it.
What do you mean selfish? What do you mean selfish? Selfish for what?
Because he's closing in on
He just wants numbers.
But
you know what? He sabotaged his own freaking team.
Maz, I understand what you're saying, and I kind of see where you're going with that, because he definitely did sabotage his team. But if you pay attention to what you said, then you will understand that he's scoring 30 a game because he has to. He's got nobody else that wants to score. Nobody else has a decent field goal percentage. Every time he goes to anybody else, whether it's Malik Monk, whether it's Dwight Howard, whether it's whoever, they can't score buckets. Russell Westbrook, you don't know what he's going to do from night in, night out. So he has to do that. Now, I definitely believe he's trying to get all the points he can because he's trying to close on Kareem faster. But it's also in a situation where it's kind of organic, because he's scoring 30 points a game and they're still losing. So,
but I feel like he's doing that too because his team sucks this year. If his team was if he had a championship team, he'd be doing whatever it took to win. The guy is a winner. I mean, and he puts up great numbers for whatever, and he is not done yet. I think he's kind of like a Tom Brady type guy, where, and if you believe what Tom Brady tells you, it was a phone call that LeBron James lobbed off to Tom Brady and said, hey, we ain't done yet. And that was one of the reasons that prompted Brady to come back as well.
LeBron wants to play with his son.
But it does make you wonder. You look at what LeBron's able to do this year, 37 years old. He's averaging 30. What if he would have been on this tenacity of a tear his whole career? Because the big thing on LeBron is he's not Michael, he's not Kareem, he's not this because he doesn't score. He doesn't have that killer. This year has been something different. What if LeBron was a guy that was averaging 30 for 19 years?
We can get into it. Hour number 2 of the program. Also, Final Four tomorrow night. North Carolina and Duke. That's the big draw. But before that, Kansas and Villanova. If I had to ask you right now, Braylon, who your championship game is on Monday night, you say what?
North Carolina. I'm going UNC. UNC is going to be UNC Villanova. UNC wins it all.
UNC Nova, Maz?
I got Duke and Kansas.
Duke and Kansas.
Duke winning it all.
Look at that.
But I'll tell you what, UNC is going to give them everything they want.
There is something about UNC that can they beat Coach K, final game at Cameron Indoor, and then in the NCAA tournament? We'll see. There's something about this Duke team to me that feels like they're going to get every single call, and they're going to ensure that team plays on Monday night.
They're earning it, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great.
They got great players on their team. They got 4 pros on there at least.
Yeah, it's just tough to see what UNC is doing from a defensive standpoint, and offensive standpoint. I mean, they got 4 guys scoring 20 points a game. They got 4 different games. They have different scores that have led the charge. Caleb Love is playing amazingly. Armando Bacot down in that paint. That's why I think UNC wins, is in the paint. If they get in foul trouble, will be the only way I think Duke can beat UNC.
Michigan has their spring game tomorrow. We're going to talk plenty about that coming up in about 20 minutes from now. But I did want to start really diving in here to this Lions situation. Dave Burkett from the Detroit Free Press had this article yesterday that he put out yesterday afternoon, Braylon, with Todd McShay. And there's so much talk about whether or not the Lions will trade that pick at number 2 and the haul that they could get at number 2. McShay had a really good perspective on this, in my opinion. We're going to get into it. McShay says this is the worst year to have this number 2 pick. Here's the quote: "It sucks for Detroit this year because there's no elite quarterback where they can solve their problem moving forward. And then there's, knowing the quarterback situation, there's no next 2 best players. A lot of teams' boards are offensive tackles, and they're in really good shape at that position moving forward. So I think it's tough how this plays out." Maz is a big guy on trading the pick, and McShay says because there isn't that elite number 2 player on this draft board, they're going to have a hell of a time trading out of that spot.
Go figure. The Detroit Lions have the number 2 pick, and there's nobody to draft.
Yep.
There's nobody to trade with.
Yep.
Just that Detroit luck. It will be interesting. Like you said, it's so many questions about everybody in this draft. Aiden Hutchinson has questions. Malik Willis has questions. Is he a number 2? Hell, is he even a first-round draft pick type of a candidate? Maz, go ahead.
All 32 teams are in Oregon today for Kayvon Thibodeau and the Ducks workout. The Lions and the Seahawks have the most people there, 7 each.
Well, they have to do their due diligence.
That's a lot.
Due diligence on him, right?
That's a lot of eyes.
They didn't have 7 people at Malik Willis per day.
Yeah, I don't know how many people they had, but
2.
They had 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but who was there the most? Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Mike Tomlin talked to him 4 different times.
I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh guys.
This is just a very tough year. Dave Burkett, Todd McShay, great article, brings up a very good point, man. Like, everybody has questions, and it's not just some questions. There's some strong questions about pretty much everybody in this draft. You look at Trayvon Walker, and I heard something in the car today on the way in here, was compared to Rashawn Gary in terms of production in college. That's something interesting. Rashawn Gary struggled at Michigan. He struggled in Green Bay. You look at Iquanu from North Carolina State. He's a really good run blocker, not so good in the pass protection game. If I'm going after a left tackle, shouldn't that left tackle be really good in the pass protection game? So anywhere you go, Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley Jr., the list goes on. A lot of questions.
Let me ask you guys this question. I'll pose it to the listeners as well. If you're watching on YouTube, we certainly appreciate it. Go ahead and smash that like button. It helps YouTube get our content out. And also, if you don't subscribe to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel, please do so. Coming up on 22.5 thousand subscribers on YouTube. We are continuing to grow on this platform. Thank you guys for doing so. Again, hit that like button. I am going to ask you guys a question. If you want to get it on the chat as well, feel free to do so. Is there a player that you would be totally pissed if they took it number 2?
Yeah.
You would be you'd slam your fist on the table and say, you have got to be kidding me. There is no way you should take that player at number 2. I want your answer next. This is Ermanni and Edwards.
Global Sports Network on a Friday. The Bottom Line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You asked for it and we listen. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
Hey gang, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. It is March Madness. It's April, but we're still calling it March Madness because the Final Four coming up in New Orleans tomorrow night. Make sure you go down MyBookie.ag, especially if you're a first-timer, because you could double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 simply by using the promo code Woodward. That's right, MyBookie.ag. The promo code is Woodward. Tomorrow, it's KU, Kansas, the #1 seed, going against the #3 seed, Villanova Wildcats. Nova getting 4.5 in that game, and 133 is the total right now on the over-under. Lots of people liking the under in that one. What will you do? Game 2, we all know it. It's Duke and North Carolina. First time they've ever met in the Final Four. First time they ever met in March Madness, believe it or not. And that spread is 4.5. North Carolina getting the points in 155 on the over-under. So get to mybookie.ag right now. Use the promo code Woodward. Make sure you get there. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Wing Snob. That's right, fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wing Snob has the best traditional wings.
Yes,
Try out
they
our
do.
signature sauces. That's right, Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. I had that lemon pepper.
Who told you about the lemon pepper? There it is. There
That's
it is.
right. Wings sauce perfection in any sauce you pick. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online or find a location near you. Wingsnob.com. Wingsnob.com. We just have better wings.
Yes, they do.
Talking Detroit Lions right now, having a little fun. So Dave Burkett put out an article yesterday on Freak.com with Todd McShay. And McShay's talking about, you know what, it sucks this year to have the number 2 pick for the Detroit Lions. No really elite player at number 2 that somebody's going to want to give you the haul required to jump up to number 2.
If it sucks at 2, it's got to suck at 1 too. man.
Exactly. Unless you really believe Aiden Hutchinson
Right.
is, the drop-dead best
Odds-on
can't-miss
favorite.
player in the draft. Is there a player, though, that they would select it to that you'd be totally pissed about? Throw your hands up in the air and say, you've got to be kidding me. Maz, go ahead. You raise your hand first.
Any offensive lineman.
Okay.
Okay? That's it. I'm just putting it out there. Do not pick an offensive lineman. Thank you. Braylon?
Me and Maz are definitely in sync today. I said 2 players, Evan Neal and Aquanu from North Carolina State. We don't need an offensive lineman. And people will say, well, the Lions aren't going to draft an offensive lineman. They have a great offensive line. Yes, they do. They have Jonah Jackson. They have Vaitai. They have Penei Sewell. They also have Frank Ragnow. They have Taylor Decker.
Evan Brown.
And if you talk Evan Brown, who they just re-signed as a backup center, you talk to Tony Vaselli, Hall of Famer this year. He said that we have the best line going into the 2022 season. That's coming. That's high
pretty good.
praise. That's high praise from a Hall of Fame left tackle. And you're like, they would never do that. Guess what? This is the Detroit Lions. You never know what they're cooking. I know we say this is a new regime, but many regimes in Detroit history have made some of the same mistakes. So any offensive lineman for me would just be a throw the hands up in the air, walk out the room, and turn on something else.
I think you're both wrong.
Can I guess yours?
Yes.
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle.
But we've been talking about
I know.
Kyle Hamilton. So I know it's Kyle Hamilton, but you mean to tell me if they draft offensive line, you would be cool with that over Kyle Hamilton?
I would not be cool with it, but I would think that
Yeah, I'm waiting for this one. You would think what?
I would think that they took the best player on their board regardless of position. Regardless of position, they would take the best player on their board. I would hate it.
They got 5 players that can be in the
would
Pro Bowl.
hate
6.
it if they took an offensive lineman. But there isn't a player on here, to me, Kyle Hamilton, and even to some extent, and this may be dumb to many out there, Kayvon Thibodeau. For whatever reason,
Right.
they have talked me out of Thibodeau.
Don't let anybody else talk you out of the pick. Do your own
They have
research.
talked me out
Bro,
of
they
Thibodeau.
have 7 people on him today at Pro Day. So you better talk. You better call someone there because that's trouble. That's trouble.
You say you hate the word narrative. The narrative has been created by people.
Yep.
Those people that
You're right.
Kayvon Thibodeau is a guy that doesn't care about on the field. He cares about
Can't
just
argue.
himself. He's selfish. He's this guy. He didn't show up in big games. He didn't show up in the Ohio State. That's because he didn't play in the Ohio State game. Kayvon Thibodeau has 7 sacks in 10 games. 7 sacks in 10 games. Kayvon was a number 1 overall projection before the season started. For a reason. Kayvon Thibodeau is a damn good player, and Kayvon Thibodeau is going to make a lot of people sad in the NFL when they pass on him, including the Detroit Lions, when he comes out and he becomes a perennial Pro Bowl player. Kyle Hamilton's another guy. Had a really good freshman season, so-so sophomore season. Had a good season last year before he got injured. If you take Kyle Hamilton, I will be pissed, but I still would understand. He's a guy that's going to be a Pro Bowler. He can help a secondary that definitely needs a guy like that, kind of what Quandre Diggs, a Tyrann Mathieu, guy that can go after it and play. He comes from great pedigree. It's Notre Dame. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. You take a lineman with the number 2 pick when you got 7 guys, 6 of them with Pro Bowl talent. That's tough.
Let's see if we
Ryan.
can agree on this. I don't believe there's any player that they would select at number 2 that would actually live up to the number 2 pick, worthy of being a number 2 overall pick, unless that's Malik Willis. I don't think there's anybody there. I mean, is Thibodeau going to be a Pro Bowler?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
You are high on Thibodeau.
It's not hard to make the Pro Bowl anymore, and I know people are going to be like, what? No. Start looking at stats. A lot of people opt out of the Pro Bowl every year. Chase Young made the Pro Bowl.
That's true.
Phenom from Ohio State. He didn't have a phenom year that first year with the Washington Commanders. Now, glad I got that right. If you look at his stats, he only had 8-9 sacks. So it's not that hard to make a Pro Bowl. Now, if you're talking about being
All-Pro?
There you go.
Yeah, difference.
Now that's different. Now Micah Parsons, his guy, and I'm mad I brought it up because I know it's going to send him on a tear. Micah Parsons is an all-pro. Like, that's different from being a Pro Bowler.
Unicorn.
If Penei Sewell was in this draft, he'd be the drop-dead number 1 overall player in the draft, right?
I don't know about that.
I would. Judging off what happened last year, we can say that. But if he was in this draft, you know what they would say? Well, you know what? Guy in Penei Sewell out of Oregon didn't play last year. We don't know what to expect out of him. He's only 19 years old. He's 20 now. That would have been the conversation about him this year. Like, they would have found a way to knock him down the peg as well. But to your point, probably would have been the overall number 1 favorite.
Here, the YouTube haters out there, there's their hates. They got Hamilton. They got Malik Willis. They got Evan Neal. That's mainly the names I've seen here. There's another one that says
everybody.
Just take Thibodeau is another one.
I don't have a problem with
that. But there's not many other names out there. Just the names that we were talking about. That's it.
The more this goes on, though, the more I believe that they're not going to be able to trade out of that pick too. Like, just the more like McShay being able to pick a player for the draft, like in a mock draft, I feel like that's all BS, right?
Yeah.
But I do think he talks to enough people to where you get a sense that they're not going to be able to trade out of the pick. Does that make sense?
No, you're 100% correct.
Like, I kind of believe that aspect of it. Like, when it's all said and done on April 28th, the Lions are going to be picking in that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
I kind of am there now.
Daniel Jeremiah today, I read it on my way into the studio. He came out with something to say. The Lions at 2 are going to take whatever defensive guy is there. He still thinks it could be Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And he says they're going to trade up with the Eagles to get pick 19 and steal Malik Willis from the Steelers. They're going to have to give up their number 1 at 32, possibly the 34th, and like a 5th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick to move up with the Eagles and steal Malik Willis from the Steelers.
Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
If you take Malik Willis, just take him.
Take him at 2.
Just take him.
Take him at 2 and then keep your 2 picks.
Yes.
And maybe there's a defensive player like later that's going to fall to you.
Maybe the Kobe Dean will be there.
And those wide receivers are going to be off the board.
So you have a problem with the Detroit Lions somehow being able to draft Aiden Hutchinson number 2 overall and then trade up their 32nd pick and maybe a 3rd-round pick for Malik Willis at 17 or whatever. You would have a problem with them acquiring Malik and Aiden?
If they get Hutchinson at 2, then I'm cool with that.
What did the Rams say? What's that? What's
F them picks.
F them picks. Okay.
But the thing about it is, you in order to say F them picks, you got to be in a situation where you've built up a team with a nice foundation. Like, they built that team up to get to a point where they can say F them picks. You can't, as the Detroit Lions right now, say F them picks. You got to get a base before you can say F them picks.
And what do the Rams have? My favorite words?
Oh, man.
House money. They already won the Super Bowl.
That's right.
They can do whatever the hell they want.
No doubt about it.
And the linebacker now.
The rich get richer. We'll talk about that Bobby Wagner contract when we go around the NFL and talk about some win totals as well. Next, big day in Ann Arbor tomorrow. Michigan Wolverines getting set for the spring game. I want to talk 2 aspects of this. One, what happens on the field, and then what's going to happen off the field. You all know where I'm going with that too, but we're going to start with on the field. Spring game tomorrow in Ann Arbor. How important is that to the University of Michigan and the development moving forward? No better guy to ask than this guy next to me, the all-time leading receiver in Michigan football history, Braylon Edwards. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, we will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade around the issues of mental health and substance use disorder. With help from NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives around these scenarios, or situations, excuse me, my apologies. The Sports Marketing Agency podcast has started, and it's called This Is the F Word. And the F Word is standing for fentanyl, telling you how fentanyl has affected the community and destroyed a large part of the metropolitan area in Detroit. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. Everybody has issues. This is the way to find out if you or somebody you know has them as well.
Ermanni and Edwards, bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. There they are. Little Robbie Ermanni.
Walking up in the distance, man. Look.
My stepdad, Tim, that's great. They came by and stopped by. We certainly appreciate that. Guys, Michigan spring game tomorrow. Braylon, how crucial is tomorrow for the development of the 2022 Wolverines? Is it worth anything, or is it just another practice day?
Not necessarily crucial, but more so just important to kind of see what's going on there. You know, we've been talking so much about the NFL draft that we've forgot to talk about what's going on in college. We've got to talk about what's going on in Michigan State, how they're reloading this year, losing Kenneth Walker III and in Ann Arbor. You know, you got to replace some studs. You got to replace Aiden Hutchinson on defensive line. David Ojabo towards Achilles. We wish him well moving forward. Daxton Hill's a guy you like. You're looking for him at the end of the first round of safety. That's where they have him projected. And obviously Josh Ross. So the good thing, the thing about tomorrow, you want to keep your eyes on a couple things. You want to watch the quarterbacks. How's Cade McNamara looking? How's J.G. McCarthy?
Is he playing tomorrow?
So here's the thing. I don't know. They haven't necessarily made it known yet.
Well, he can't throw.
But here's the thing. Can he throw? Can he throw on the sideline? Is he just going to be able to throw some passes back and forth? Like, what can he do? If he can't do anything, that's going to be something to keep your eye on. Offensive line. Well, let's start with running back. Go back to the running backs. You got Blake Corum. Last year they had a great 1-2 punch. You had Hassan Haskins, who was the physical back, the bruiser, if you will, the Anthony Thomas type running back. And then you had Blake Corum. Blake Corum was a guy that's speedy, catch the ball at the backfield. Use him for the screens and things like that, change up plays. Then you have Donovan Edwards now. So now you have Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, similar type of running backs, although Donovan Edwards does have the arm and might be a smidge faster. Interesting to see how they play them this year. Who's going to be that physical running back? Maybe it's a young guy in C.J. Stokes. Offensive line, back intact. This is the number one offensive line from last year. They pretty much don't lose anybody except the center. They lose the center, and guess what they do? They go out to Virginia, and they replace him with a center who was up for the Remington Award last year, Victor Oluwatimi. He was up for the Remington last year. He transfers out of Virginia. Now he's on our offensive line. So that offensive line still shored up. Wide receiver, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Too.
I'm so excited. The reason why I'm excited, I've been wanting Michigan to have a wide receivers coach. I'm talking about a guy that knows the wide receiver position. When I was there, they had Eric Campbell. Eric Campbell, to his credit, he coached Marquise Walker, third-round pick. He All-American. He coached Dave Terrell, All-American. He coached Monty Toomer, All-American. He coached Mario Manningham, All-American. He coached Braylon Edwards, All-American. He coached Steve Breaston. He's coached Mercury Hayes. The list goes on. Jason Avant, All-American. All those, what do they have in common? They were coached by Eric Campbell. Well, now, Ron Bellamy, who's a friend of mine, who's a friend of yours, a brother of mine, now he moves from the secondary to the wide receiver room. Now I'm excited because he was coached by Eric Campbell. Yep. So he knows what he's doing at that position. So look for Ronnie Bell to come off an injury. He was injured last year, early in the season. So this year he's going to be a dog. Like, he got injured with enough time to come back and be ready. By the time the season starts, he's a year removed from an ACL injury under Ron Bellamy. And then you look at Andrew Anthony. Andrew's the guy that I love.
For him.
Number one. He's the new number one at the University of Michigan. I like him a lot. Don't look at his production last year, 248. Don't forget, 170 of those yards were in the Michigan State game. So he had 170 of those yards in one game. Also scored against Georgia, garbage time. But anyway, it still was a very nice route. I'm just happy that they have a guy that can coach them up the right way. He's coming off. It's going to be good. Then defense. Defense is where it gets hairy. Defense is where it gets exciting. What are you looking at in defense? Well, we're looking at Will Johnson. Yep. The secondary, you lose Daxton Hill, you lose a couple guys, but you still have DJ Turner, who came on strong last year. He had 2 interceptions towards the end of the year last year. You mix him in with Will Johnson. I know he's a rookie, but the good thing about getting in spring ball. Spring ball is the most important time of the year for the college football season. It's where you find out who you going to replace players with, who's going to step up, who's going to make that bark, who's going to make that noise, who's going to be a guy you can depend on, who's going to be a guy that falls back, a guy that doesn't want the smoke, a guy that doesn't want to step up and be that guy. Will Johnson, I think, is a guy that can be that guy, 5-star out of Grosse Pointe South. You know a little something about that.
I know a little something about that.
You know a little something about that.
He replaced me as the greatest player ever to play at that school.
High praise. High praise. Also excited about the linebacker position. Listen, you get rid of Josh Ross. Josh Ross was an amazing down.
Is he a pro?
He'll make some teams. He'll be a special teams guy. He'll be a special teams guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you'll get a chance to earn a spot in special teams, and maybe if someone gets hurt, get a chance to play in the game, and maybe you make your mark. But with Josh Ross, he was a downfield guy. He was down in the tunnel. He was a hitter. He's a physical guy. Come up, knock your block off. Lateral movement, he was stiff. Saw a lot of moments in the Ohio State game, Travion Henderson, Mayan Williams. You saw some Georgia action. Well, hell, who didn't Georgia shake up in that game? But side to side, he wasn't good. That's where Junior Colson comes in. Junior Colson, that guy can run. He's out of Tennessee, Brentwood, Tennessee, I do believe. He can run laterally side to side. He can run. He can come downhill. He also can cover. So I'm excited about that. And then that defensive line. I got to go back to my notes for the defensive line.
Look at this guy with the notes, man.
Hey, you got to have notes, man. You got to have
it.
notes. You got to have notes. Mike Morris is a guy that played last year. He's a big guy. He's fast. Played a lot of snaps last year. He's a guy that they believe can step up and be that guy. His size, 6'6", 276 pounds. So he's bigger than Aiden Hutchinson and faster. So that doesn't mean anything if he doesn't get right there. You know, obviously, new coach Jesse Mentor, got to get him in and see what he can do. Defensive coordinator out of Vanderbilt. But excited for that. And then Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith is the guy that's going to take over in the defensive line. He played all 14 games last year, started all 14 games, and not only that, he was honorable mention all Big Ten. A lot of tackles for an interior guy. So that man tell me he clogs it up. He doesn't mind tackling guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but Michigan could be a good team this year.
I am so excited to watch this team offensively this year because you talk about those wide receivers that got so much run last year, especially when Ronnie Bell went out.
Yeah.
I mean, this crew grew and grew and grew, and obviously the coming out party for Andrell Anthony in the Michigan State game, I mean, I think burst onto the scene. So many guys. You get Ronnie Bell back this year. At the end of the year, to me, you look at Blake Corum here. Blake Corum damn near ran for 1,000 yards last year and missed 2 games and shared time with Hassan Haskins, who was also a 1,000-yard rusher and potentially one of the best running backs in the country last year, and might have been a Heisman Trophy candidate had it not been for sharing time last year, Hassan Haskins. So you've got that. And then Donovan Edwards, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's your guy.
Donovan Edwards is as special a player as I have seen in a Michigan uniform. He can throw it, he can run it, he can catch it, and he's fast.
Yeah, he can run it, he can throw it, he can catch it, and he's fast. That's why I say it's going to be very interesting to see how they use those two guys together. It was very easy to switch it up with Hassan and Blake because they're two totally different backs. They didn't even start throwing the ball to Hassan Haskins out the backfield until the Iowa game. The first time they threw him a pass, it was the Ohio State game. The first time they threw him a pass out the backfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use them both. Who gets the starting job? Because that's not a guarantee that Blake Corum's going to be your starter. It's not a guarantee. You know, you want to play the best guys. You want to see how guys do. It's going to be eager to see who wins that job in the training camp. In spring ball, who goes into training camp with that job, who starts the season with that job.
It all comes down to the man in the middle there. And great job by Alex, by the way, on the graphic here. It's Cade McNamara. It's his team. He got him the championship last year, first one since who was the backup quarterback in Kansas City?
Chad.
Yeah.
Chad
Henne. Was that the first time since then? So all the accolades go to him. But you guys know, everybody that's watching this game, that's watching this team, that's rooting for this team, wants to see J.J. McCarthy. He goes down with a bad shoulder, probably can't throw until July. Who knows how that's going to affect him? But it's in Cade's hands. All these weapons you're talking about, it's still in that guy's hands.
Regardless if it's Cade or if it's JJ, I would be disappointed if this team scored less than 40 points a game.
Yeah.
Less than 40. If they score...
That's a ton.
If they score less than 40, I'll be underwhelmed and disappointed.
Their first 8 games, they should score 100.
Yeah, there are so many offensive weapons on this team, offensive possibilities. You, as a coach, just have to get out of the way.
Get out of your own way. And that's one thing I always say. Sometimes coaches, they try to be so smart.
Yeah.
They try to be so smart, and they want to look so cute. They're like, oh, look what we did, and look how we ran this, and look how we tricked them, and look how we confused them. Don't do all that. Like, go with what the mojo is. Go with what's working. We didn't even talk about Cornelius Johnson Jr. We didn't even talk about Roman Wilson as well. They have a ton of wide receivers in that room. The room is so good that Mike Sandestro said, to hell with that. I'm going to play DB. Like Mike Sanders said, I got to get out of here. I got to go play DB and go.
That's a good point.
You got to go on the other side of the ball. It's too much heat in this wide receiver room.
Wow.
So I actually agree with Ryan on that. They should score a lot of points. It's going to be up to what the defense can do. The defense has been the Michigan's strong point for the last 6-7 years. Harbaugh's whole time here, what has been the strong point? It's been that defense. This will be the first year that the offense will be the strong point. Can the defense match is going to be the question.
And Harbaugh wanted to leave this team. Come on now.
Hey, you mentioned Sanchez still going from wide receiver to DB. You know who else did that? It worked out pretty good for him at Alabama.
There you go,
Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs. Nick Saban asked Trayvon Diggs to move from wide receiver to Alabama to defensive back, and Diggs tells the story that he nearly cried and thought he had made the wrong decision to go to Alabama, didn't understand, and then look at him now.
And if you think about it, if you look at DB and wide receiver over the past 7 years that Jim Harbaugh has been here, even if you go back 20 years, DB has been a better position in terms of draft possibly, in terms of players making the NFL, in terms of players playing in the NFL. We talk about David Long, talk about Jordan Lewis,
Jabril Peppers, the Heisman finalist.
Jabril Peppers. We talk about guys that are playing right now, guys that are starting right now. I think Jabril almost made a Pro Bowl or did make a Pro Bowl. With that being said, on the offense side, the wide receiver, haven't seen a ton of wide receivers have success at Michigan since.
Actually, who was
Steve Preston?
Who was the last?
Mario Manningham.
Who was the last first-round skill player to get drafted by the Michigan Wolverines?
Jabril Peppers.
Offensive.
Well,
this guy.
Is it?
Last first-round offensive skill player. I believe it's you. Tell me I'm wrong. The last offensive skill player to get drafted in the first round, University of Michigan, is Braylon Edwards.
I think Steven went 5th. Jason went 4th. Chris Perry went 1st, but he went the year before me. Wow.
Think about that. You want to know why Michigan has struggled in the Big Ten?
I would definitely agree on that.
Why they haven't won a Big Ten championship since 2004 before last year? It's because their skill players have not been very good.
They've only had 1,000-yard receiver, I want to say, since I retired, and that was they have 2. They have Jason Avant, and they had Jeremy Gallen.
Yep.
Jeremy Gallen had 1,300 one year.
Think about that. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
This is the year, though. But this is the year.
But I still don't think they get a first-round skill player this year.
No,
in
not
the first
this
round.
year, but Andrell is...
Next year, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Next year, maybe. But we'll see.
We shall
How about
see.
that? You smile on his face there. Guys, I do want to. I know you talked a little bit about it yesterday. I've not had a chance to weigh in on it, and it's in regards to this Michigan spring game tomorrow with Colin Kaepernick. And I have heard both sides, and I'm going to try to be as respectful as I possibly can to both sides. But
something was said in our group chat during the Big D Energy.
Exactly. So I mean, I am actually a little bit kind of just blown away by all of this, to be quite frank with you. We'll get to Colin Kaepernick being the Michigan honorary captain tomorrow. We'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse. A great day today would be to get to the Folding Warehouse at Hamtramck, and the inventor of folding, it's Chris Hutt and his wife, Noni. Great hosts. Make sure you tell them the gang at Woodward Sports sent you over. Folding is the football bowling game. I could have used the football last night. in Game 2 of my league average. I just don't even want to bring it up. But throwing a football last night would have been a lot better than throwing my bowling ball. You be quiet, by the way. You get to the Folding Warehouse, couple of ways to play this game. You can do it. I just lost my train of thought. Thanks, Braylon. It could be 10 is it? Unlimited open play.
Liberty.
Just show up. You can start at the beginning of the day, and you get kicked out when they shut the lights off. Or you can have a private lane reservation for 10 of your personal friends. It costs you $120 for 2 hours. You can put at least 10 people on a lane. You want to get your food, you can bring it in yourself, have it delivered, get your drink on as well. Over 100 beers served at the Folding Warehouse, that $2 mystery beer machine, and multiple full bars. So get your fold on, get it on soon, and make sure you check them out online at foldingwarehouse.com.
You know what happens, man, when it's the winter breaks, when it becomes spring, when it becomes summer, cuffing season is over and guys want to start dating. Women want to start dating.
What'd you say?
I said cuffing season is over. Cuffing season.
I thought you said never mind.
No. That season just starts. No, cuffing.
You cuffed me last week.
Oh my God! Would you guys let me do this read? Cuffing season is over. Time to get in shape. You want to get a mate? Got to look good to
Still
get a mate.
Not over it.
So you got to go down to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. $10 a month can get
only
you
$10.
Only $10 will get you in the door in the gym. $22.99 will get you all of the gym everywhere. 2,000 locations worldwide. That black card will get you all you need: hydro massage chairs, unlimited tanning, ton of other things. And also, Maz's favorite quality, you can bring someone every time you come. You can bring a fresh guest. There's no limit on how many guests you bring per month. That right there is enough for me to do it.
I'm going for free with you.
Hey, let's do it. Then we'll go together. I'll take all you guys, man. PlanetFitness.com. Your fitness is essential.
Essential. Alex, you have some great ones, dude.
Yeah, he's a
You're there.
That's why I'm glad I'm in this side, because I can hear him.
I don't tell Alex enough how much I appreciate him.
Well, you got an opportunity right now.
I mean, I'm serious. I love you, man. I do not tell you nearly enough. So great. Guys, so earlier this week, a couple days ago, it was announced that Jim Harbaugh has selected Colin Kaepernick to be the honorary captain for the University of Michigan spring football game on Saturday. And people have thoughts, right? I mean, is there a more lightning rod of a name in sports than Colin Kaepernick? Right, there's just not. Period.
I would say him and Trump are the two lightning rods in our country.
Yeah, right.
1 and 2. I would say they are the lightning rods in our country.
But as it relates to the sports world, certainly Kaepernick's name for sure. And at first, I read the comments under the Michigan football Twitter about it. Yeah. And I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was surprised.
Ann Arbor, sneaky place.
Now I'm a fan of Ohio State. After 60 years, I'm going to give my tickets up now and this, that, and the other thing. And I thought to myself, look, I'll be totally real with you for a second. Back then, in 2016, I did not particularly care for Colin Kaepernick or taking a knee or talking about police or anything like that. I did not like that. After 5-6 years of listening to the conversation, hoping to evolve as a person, understand that there are many different sides of people have beliefs and being respectful of those beliefs, I now understand or feel like I have listened and am not so like, you have to do this. Like, the great part about the country is you can kind of feel how you want. The great part about the country is you can take a knee if you want to take a knee. The great part about the country is you can speak out on something if you want to speak out on something. I don't have anything but love now for this situation, right? If you want to be invited if Jim Harbaugh is inviting you into the house, let's go. Welcome, open arms. This is great. You know, I'm a fan of the situation. I think there's a lot of other people that he could have had. I think he could have had Braylon Edwards. Yeah. I think he could have had Anthony Carter. Yeah. I think, you know what I mean? But it's just, it's enough now. All this hate, it's got to end. And it starts with the individual. All of the hate has to stop. For me.
One of my longtime best friends, actually, he's my longest friend I've ever had is Richard Simeon. Richard Simeon, what's up if you're watching the show? You should be.
Richard?
You should be watching the show. we talked about this as soon as it happened. He was a Ranger overseas. He was a Ranger for many years. And we talked about it. And he said one of the reasons why we go to war, one of the reasons why we went over there, one of the reasons why we fought in everywhere is you fight for people to have opinions. You fight for people to have the ability to take a stand, to take a side, to choose what they want to do, to feel the way they want to do, to think the way they do. He said he didn't agree with Kaepernick in the situation, but he didn't hate Cap. He understood that, hey, that's his privilege that we've given him.
Yep.
So that was a conversation I had with a friend of mine that he and I have very different political views, but we love each other. Like, that's what it's about. It's about the conversation. Use that word. Remember when Colin first started the whole protest? Remember he was sitting down initially. And then after the Chargers game, which is in preseason, he said he talked to the military guy who eludes me. I can't think of his name, and I should have done my homework. But he told Cap, and they got cool, and he said, hey, Cap, maybe as opposed to sitting down, how about you get up there with the rest of the teammates? How about you take a knee? How about you do something like that? So they had a conversation. He was open to the conversation because after that guy, who's a military man, by the way, sat down with Cap, he understood what Cap was trying to do. He understood what Cap's mind was. He understood what Cap's heart was. And what he really was trying to create was the change that he saw.
Retired Army Green Beret Nate Boyer is the man who convinced Colin Kaepernick to take a knee during the anthem instead of sitting.
100%. And so it was a conversation had. He listened to the guy. They got on a similar page, if you will, the best page they could. Here we are 6 years later, and people are still irate. Some of the same people that go to the bathroom during the national anthem. Some of the same people that send out texts during the national anthem. I played professional football. I had to listen to it all the time, and I loved it. Put my hand over the chest. It was for the country. But I can hear people laughing and giggling and doing stuff during the national anthem. Those are the main people that have these issues, that have these concerns. Listen, 6 years removed, the NFL has changed their stance to a certain extent. Do they want people kneeling? No. But do they now lobby for those causes? Yes. They support Black Lives Matter. They supported Leonard Floyd when he died 2 years ago, when he was murdered. Excuse me, not died. When he was murdered, they supported it. Like George Floyd, excuse me. I keep saying Leonard Floyd because of the Super Bowl. My apologies. But George Floyd, they supported. Like, the conversation has moved. If the NFL has gotten past it, you understand what his intent was, what he was trying to do. Because look what happened. After everything that Colin Kaepernick did in 2016, the NFL now supports Black Lives Matter. They supported George Floyd and the rallies and the protests and raising money. Why do you think that is? Because Cap brought awareness. He brought attention to it. So just get past it. It's about humanity. Everybody has the right to lobby for what they need, what they believe in life. I believe human rights. I believe in human rights. It's humanity. It's a humanic type thing. So with that being said, I think people need to get over it. Get out their feelings.
I agree.
And just move past it.
I fully agree.
I'm no longer even mad at it.
No,
I used to get mad.
I fully agree, and it was, to me, kind of cool to see Kaepernick in a Michigan and the kids. I mean, you saw some of the faces. You know, when he was there, the kids love it. The kids are fans of Colin Kaepernick.
They look up to him.
They do look up to him, and I do think that's part of an evolving conversation. And again, this is coming from somebody who did not particularly care for Colin Kaepernick or his stance 6 years ago. But I feel like, as a human being, you take a step back from how you feel. You listen about something. You try to educate yourself a little bit, and you move forward.
One of the biggest reasons why it got to that point, too, and I'm not trying to put any blame on him, but he did it. Like, who was in office at that time?
Well,
and one of the biggest things he said when he was in office, he kept the narrative going that Colin Kaepernick was disrespecting the flag. And once he got the narrative out there that Colin Kaepernick was disrespecting the flag, then that became the conversation. It was flag disrespect, flag disrespect. Shoot, the hell, if you go back to the original national anthem, well, we don't need to go that far. I'd say that for another day. With that being said, that was the narrative created. That was not at all what he was trying to do. He was literally just a good guy trying to create change, where he saw we were missing the mark, if you will. If you will, we're missing the mark.
There's a kid who played in the Super Bowl and basically gave up his career to do that, to show you what he believes in and what he thinks is right. A lot of people followed him, a lot of people didn't. Wow. But you know what? Put it in the rearview mirror, man. Yeah. How long are you going to hold a grudge on this guy?
That's really.
I give Jim Harbaugh all the credit in the world for doing this. Hey, congrats, man. Let's wake up. Who cares,
and
man?
Honestly,
it's the past.
Like,
He didn't kill anyone.
Think about your own, like if you're listening to this and you ever were on a team, or you weren't an athlete, and you just had a special teacher that you remember back, and Mrs. Smith.
Yep, I knew you were going to say Smith.
My third grade teacher, Mrs. Smith, man, we turned out to be great friends in life. Can you imagine if Mrs. Smith turned her back on you because of your political beliefs or your stance on X subject? You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing. We should not lose relationships or friendships or mentorships over what somebody believes. Like, you know me as a person, I know you as a person, and whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know.
We definitely shouldn't do that, especially when it has to do with humanity. It's not necessarily a political stance, it's humanity. He was really worried about young black men, period, black individuals being murdered by cops. And that's what he lobbied for. I support anyone that doesn't like something in the community that they feel is wrong, whether it's, gay rights, whether it's feminist rights, like whatever the rights are. People deserve the right to be heard. People deserve the right to feel included and equal. And that's what we're fighting for. That's what Colin was fighting for. That was all. That was it. It's funny that they still support all these guys that are here beating up women, rapists, like sexual assaulters, etc. And the list goes on of teams that they still would support. Well, guys are doing that if they're scoring touchdowns. But a guy that wanted this, all of a sudden, it created all this backlash. Like Matt said, it's over. It's in the rear view. Can we move on with 2022? I'm tired of it.
Absolutely. I think we all agree on that. And
plus, he probably is better than 90% of the backup quarterbacks are out there.
I still say Seattle should sign Colin Kaepernick.
I would say bring him here, but I just saw Tim Boyle on tape
Tim
today.
Boyle
I'm going to show you that later.
I mean, if you got Tim Boyle video, if you see Tim Boyle's workout, you'd say this guy's the #1 overall pick in the draft coming up.
I would draft him.
Guys, I want to get back into some NFL stories if I could next. The over-under win totals for the NFL teams are out. I want to see where you think of the Lions win total, and we'll get you the highest and lowest win totals of the year. Ermanni and Edwards having a little fun on a Friday.
There it is, the bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Over-unders.
Hey, everybody, opening day a week away. That's exactly. Right now, in a week, the Tigers are going to be playing the White Sox, weather permitting, of course. But Woodward Sports is going to be down there from the crack of dawn. Heck, Ryan's going to be down there before it even gets light out.
6 a.m., baby.
6 a.m. So come on down and see the team at Woodward Sports. We started off live from the brass rail, 8 to 10, with Adam T. Foss and the gang with the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy follows from the Music Hall Amphitheater, 11 to 1, and then we're back at the brass rail. The bottom line is from 2 to 4. The home opener party, live DJs, live broadcasts, of course, keg holding competitions, and more. Next Friday, the 8th, celebrate the first real opening day in 3 years. That's right. It's Woodward Sports on opening day, downtown Detroit.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com. Also, for all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, don't worry about that supply chain, inventory, chip shortage. Don't worry about it. Get to Les Stanford today. They'll get you a new car. Get in, get early, and get that car delivered to you.
Easy's got his new car.
He does have it. He does. And if you want to sell your car back, you're coming up on your miles, they'll buy your car from you, no matter the make, no matter the model. For more, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them. That's another Alex special.
Yeah.
Having a lot of fun today.
Who wants to have some fun?
Again, not quickly. Happy birthday to Darren McCarty. We talked about it at the start of the show today, but I can't tell you how much the guy means to everybody here. 50 years old. He walks in, he does his job, he's friendly with everybody. He's exactly the kind of person you want to be around every day, and we are so lucky to have him here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I wished him a happy birthday earlier today. Happy 5-0. My mom wished him happy birthday as well. My mom loves D-Mac. He knows that. Just a great guy. He's everything that you want out of a Detroit player. Like, he breathes Detroit. He breathed that team. He did everything that he needed to do to secure that the Red Wings were going to be the best team that they were for that amazing era, the best era I think we've ever had in hockey. So, gotta love the guy, man, and he keeps chugging every day. So.
And happy heavenly birthday to the great Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Today's his birthday.
You know whose birthday today is as well?
Whose?
Gordie Howe.
Oh, God bless you, Gordie.
Mark Howe had a really nice birthday wish on Twitter today.
Mr. Hockey.
About D-Mac and Gordie sharing the same
wow.
birthday?
And Sean Taylor.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That makes sense.
And Maz, what did you pick up for D-Mac today? You got him something?
I got him some ice cream. I got him a little Ben & Jerry's cookies and cream. He wanted some chocolate chips. That's the best I could find them. They got chocolate chips in there. Plus Ben & Jerry's, the two best ions in the country. Had to get D-Mac that.
Ben & Jerry's the best.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh, there's so many.
Type of ice cream or brand?
Both.
Type of ice cream, butter pecan.
That's good.
I'm part of the old people clan.
No, I'm on it. Well, yeah, I'm old.
Yeah.
So
all old people love butter pecan. Include me in that.
Dave,
butter pecan.
I could go older than that. I like rum raisin from freaking Haagen-Dazs.
Now that's the 20s.
Dave Portnoy tweeted out last night about something about being successful in life. He said he wanted his vanilla ice cream, but he didn't have M&Ms, and he must have M&Ms in his ice cream bowl with the vanilla ice cream. And he said the easy thing would have been to just have the vanilla ice cream without the M&Ms. The shortest store was 15 minutes away. And he said, nope, I'm a winner. I got to go get that bag of M&Ms to put in to my ice cream. So instead of taking the easy road, he went that 15 minutes, got his bag of M&Ms to eat with his ice cream.
I'm going to give him a little bit of advice. 7-Eleven is on DoorDash. Just throwing that out there.
That's right. What about the DoorDash? Maybe they don't go to Portnoy.
7-Eleven is on everybody's DoorDash.
He can have his own freaking
They're the addition
DoorDash.
now. Like, you order something on DoorDash and 7-Eleven or whatever, they provide that addition where you have 10 minutes to say if you want more. Gotta love America. They just find ways to make us fatter.
Seriously. And it's just so easy to
find them.
Sam, how you doing over there? You guys good in there? Alex, you good over there? Tell me a little bit about what you're doing this weekend, Sam.
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm actually
got a haircut.
I did at Lady Jane's. Shout out to Liz. She's done it twice. Done a great job. Yes. And yeah, this weekend I got a date on Saturday in Milford, the Milford Trails. I'm going to walk that with my fiance, and then we're going to go have dinner. I'm very excited about it.
I thought you had a date.
I was going to say, with your fiance or with somebody else?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, Sam, you telling on yourself.
We do dates.
That's awesome.
Date nights. It keeps everything alive, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Alex, what do you got going on this weekend?
Alex,
you going to the Michigan spring game tomorrow?
I will not be at the spring game tomorrow.
I'm snitching.
Find them.
Yeah, find them. I will be making sure that my fitness is essential. I will be taking a trip down to my local Planet Fitness.
There we go.
Unfortunately, I can only go there one day a week because the other few days I am here in the office running the show. And for the record, I think North Carolina and Kansas will be playing on Monday night for the championship.
I like it.
I like that. I like that too. There's something about Duke. I feel like they're going to get every close call, and maybe Coach K. I mean, do you bet against Coach K in this one? I don't know.
He's a favorite. He's not an underdog.
Yeah,
he's a favorite. North Carolina whooped their behinds at Cameron only a couple of weeks ago. So and they're playing great.
One of the biggest things people talk about in this game, you talk about pressure. They talk about the pressure of these kids trying to send Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, out on a win, out on a high note. They didn't do that at Cameron during the last game, and they didn't do it in the ACC tournament. So here's their opportunity to send him out on the biggest stage with the win. That's a lot of pressure. And I understand every game for Duke is pressure because you're Duke. It's like whenever you're certain teams, like the Patriots, everybody's going to give you their all when you're playing against certain teams. but it's still different. You're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old guys trying to live up to the pressure. Just send Coach K out on the right. It's always easier to be on that other team trying to upset the pressure team.
Gonna get back on time here, gang. Take a quick break, 30 seconds. When we get back, over under NFL. Where are the Lions? 6.5. Do you like them under? Do you like them over? Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Detroit sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about...
They should do a shirt with that.
Huh?
They should do a shirt with that.
We've been asking for it for a while. We're gonna go get our own.
I want to let you know about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. How would you like to win $100,000? As you know, we do broadcast this show from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's definitely awesome to get off the air and to get myself looking real good. Got an appointment with my girl Becca on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Cannot wait for that. I highly recommend you get to a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you. Let them treat you like a king. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Walk in anytime, relax, watch your favorite team playing. Before you know it, your hair will be handsome and clean. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Get to Lady Jane's. Several locations in the Metro Detroit area, several more nationwide, over 100 locations nationwide. That's right. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
I hope Sam makes
locations.
I hope Sam gets that $100,000.
Location.
Sam, you're buying lunch if you hit that $100,000.
Did you register to win?
I did not register. I don't know if I can.
I think you can. I don't see any disclaimer on that.
I don't see it.
Chad's in the next room. You can ask him.
I mean, if I win the $100,000, of course I'll buy lunch. But that's if I win the $100,000.
Can I say something? There's 5 of us in here. I was watching Family Feud the other day. How they still give $5 a point. There was a family the other day that won Family Feud, and they walked away with $528.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they
didn't win the
they
big
didn't
money.
win the $20,000. Which, by the way, even if you win the $20,000,
you don't get it.
You walk away with like 11.5, split by 5 ways.
It's $2,000.
And why do they only give 1 car? There's 5 people.
They're typically all part of the same family.
They give a car away?
Yeah, you can win a car as
okay.
well. So how in 2022 can't you jack that price up a little bit?
It's been working for 40 years.
I mean,
if it ain't broke.
Come on.
Bring back Richard Dawson from the grave.
He would get canceled.
Is that the one that was drinking and filling girls up?
Oh, yeah. That's him kissing all them
he
women.
Used to make out with everybody. He'd make out with 80-year-olds. Come here, honey.
How you doing? Come here.
Come here. He was
That's
awesome.
when you still could smoke in the studio, though.
He was awesome.
Grab him by the
45.
Either way, NFL overs and unders. The Lions pegged for 6.5 wins, guys. We talk about it so much. If healthy,
are they still playing 16 games?
17
I know,
games.
17, but they always were always 6.5 or 7.
If healthy, I think this is almost a lock. Almost a lock. Almost a lock for the over. They should have won 7 games this year.
This past year, yeah.
They should have won 7 this year. And now next year, you got that schedule, Alex, handy?
That's 6.5.
If you don't have that schedule handy, I'm sorry I called you on it.
They played AFC East. They played NFC East. They played AFC East. They play our division, and then I want to say they play another.
Don't worry about the schedule.
NFC North, NFC South.
The Jets, the Giants, the Eagles,
NFC
what
East,
is it? The football
AFC
team.
East.
Yeah, come on, man. I love the Lions. Love the Lions over this year.
Here's your schedule. Are you ready?
Here we go.
You got 9 home games, 8 road games. Packers, Vikings, Bears. We know that. Bills, Dolphins, Eagles, Washington, Seahawks, Jacksonville. Those are all home games.
Seahawks is a win.
That's one win so far.
They visit Green Bay, Mini, Chicago. Then they visit the Cowboys, the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Panthers.
There it is. Look at Alex.
There you go.
I'm taking the under.
Under?
I'm taking the under. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'll give you Jacksonville. I'll give you Carolina. I'll give you Seattle.
So there's 3.
I'll give you the Jets. That's 4 wins.
4. What about the Giants?
No.
You think the Giants are going to beat them? Danny Dimes?
Yes, because they're protecting Saquon, which lets me know they're going to feature Saquon. They talked about Brian. You forget what coach just took over for the New York Giants. You forget what offense was in place in Buffalo and what he's allowed Josh Allen to do. Brian Daboll knows his offense. I was with him in Cleveland when he was offensive coordinator in 2009. They're going to feature Saquon a little bit more. All their wide receivers are coming back healthy. And you like to talk about proven contracts. Daniel Jones is on a proven contract, not to mention Tyrod Taylor could beat him out in camp. I like the Giants over the Lions.
I got 10 wins next year. Put that schedule back up. You ready for it?
10 wins for who?
For the Lions.
I'll push
I
it.
got
We'll make a bet between you and I. We'll do
Okay.
push-ups or something.
No, we'll do
talk
something.
off air.
I got 10 wins for the Lions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Seahawks?
Nope.
Carolina?
Yes.
Seahawks, Carolina, Jacksonville.
Yes.
Okay?
That's 3.
Then I got Washington.
No.
The Jets.
Yes.
And the Giants. Okay?
That's 6.
So if you're watching on YouTube right now, then I've got Cowboys, Eagles, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, losses. So that is 6-5 in non-divisional games.
What the hell you been smoking today?
What do you mean? 6-5.
The Patriots? The Cowboys?
Those are losses. I got them losing
I heard it wrong.
I got them losing to them.
My bad. My apologies.
Easy break.
Jump on his microphone.
Cowboys, Eagles, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins. 5 losses.
Yes.
Talking non-divisional games right now. That's 5 losses. The wins, Jets, Giants, Washington, Seattle, Carolina, Jacksonville. 6-5.
And they have them splitting with Chicago probably?
I've got them beating the Bears twice.
Okay.
Splitting with Minnesota.
That's 9.
Splitting with Green Bay.
Once again.
That's doable.
Okay, now can I say it, Maz?
Go ahead.
What the hell are you smoking today?
Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong?
So, 1, the Vikings and Green Bay, they won't split
Green
those
Bay
series.
7-win team next year.
They can split with them. I say they split the whole division. 3-3.
You know what? I'll let you guys have your 10 wins. I will stand firm.
No, I didn't get 10 wins.
You don't have it.
I will stand firm at 5.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
I'll stand firm at 5. Washington has their whole defense coming back. I like what they're doing in terms of the offense. I love Gibson. I don't love Tyler Heineke, but guess what? He ain't the quarterback no more.
Who is the quarterback
Carson
there?
Wentz.
Oh, yeah, Wentz. Oh, that's definitely a win.
He beat a lot of teams last year.
That's definitely a win
What
now.
are you, Jim Irsay?
Terry McLaurin. I'm taking Lions at 5.
5 wins.
5 wins.
So you got them over in the division?
I have them 5. I put it to you this way. I have them at 5 wins right now. I have to see who they draft. Is that fair to say?
Do you have them over in the division?
No, yeah, one. I got 1 in the division.
Who? Bears
The
won?
Bears. I got them splitting with the Bears.
Win. So 1-4 in the division. 1-5 in the division. 1-5 in the division. Maz?
I got them 7 or 8 wins.
Is it 7 or is it 8? We got the schedule here. Give me the.
I got them at 7 wins.
So you got over.
I got over 6.5.
This is why I say they won't split with all the teams in the division. Green Bay won't be a team that's the best team in the league this year. You talked about how they're going to be down this year. I agree. That means Green Bay is going to have to bring their fire in both times they play the Lions. It won't be that end of the season where they rest everybody. They're going to play both games hard. They lose both games to Green Bay. I like Minnesota to actually win the NFC North this year. I think that Kevin O'Connell and that new team, I think they're going to get together. I love Kirk Cousins for what they're going to do. Dalvin Cook, they're rechanging the offense. They're going to bring some of that Rams-style play that they did. They're going to get Dalvin Cook the ball out in the open a little bit more, out in space, throw him the ball out of the backfield a lot more. Got them winning. 2 losses. I got Green Bay playing both games against the Lions. They never played that second game, so I got the 2 losses there, and then I got them splitting with Chicago Bears.
You see they got Seattle at 6? When was the last time you ever saw that? That had to be 10 years.
Before Pete Carroll and Russell got there.
Well, they'll probably go over in the division, right?
They could win.
Arizona isn't a lock. Arizona is a weird team.
If Hopkins is healthy, though, that's
They
a
beat
much
the Rams.
different team.
They know how to beat the
2
Rams.
years ago, they faltered at the end of the season 2 years ago before this past season. So it's just something about Arizona when December comes. Something about Kyle Shanahan, Kyler Murray, the two Kyles. When December hits, they forget to play football.
A 9.5 at Cincinnati. This shows you how tough the divisions are.
Yeah.
The AFC East is a juggernaut. The AFC South is North is a juggernaut, and of course the AFC West is the best division in football.
I only like three guarantees on that list. I'm taking Green Bay on the under.
Yep.
I'm taking the Raiders on the over, and I'm taking the Rams on the over.
See, that's where I was going to ask you, who is your locks on here? Because
Rams, Raiders over, and Green Bay under. Those
What's
are my
the
three
Rams
locks.
at? I can't see it from here.
Rams at 10.5.
10.5.
And they just got Bobby Wagner. The Rams are going to win 11. At least 11 games. I got them winning 13, to be honest.
I got New Orleans under.
Where's New Orleans
7.5.
It's not a bad under.
And Tampa Bay over. Tampa Bay, they'll go 6-0 in their division. I don't know. There's nobody in that division. So there's 6 wins right there. They got to find 6 other.
I like Cleveland over.
Pittsburgh could be a good over.
Cleveland
Pittsburgh
over.
at 7.5.
I like Trubisky.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh at 7.5 over. That whole defense comes
Especially if
back.
they get
Devin Bush
Malik
comes
Willis.
back this year.
Pittsburgh, they can't beat Cincy or Cleveland or Baltimore.
You said what?
Pittsburgh can't beat Cincy, Cleveland, or Baltimore.
Yes, they can. We just assume that everything is going to go perfect with Deshaun Watson and this Cleveland Browns situation. There is still a suspension going to happen. You still got to look at the schedule. When are these games slated? I know that in the first 5 games, I want to say, in the first 6 games, they play the Ravens. They play the Ravens and Cincinnati 4 times. They played 2-2. So just depending on how that season is slated, what happens with the suspension, depends on what happens with getting the chemistry in that time span. That's a real deal. Just because he's just coming back and he is the best quarterback, he's one of the best quarterbacks when he's on the field. Hell, what he did 2 years ago with that 4-12 team is one of the best seasons of all time. One of the best seasons of all time, and they went 4-12. So it's no guarantee that they're going to come out and win that division. So mindful, 7.5. I think they can go over.
One of your locks for the over, the Los Angeles Rams. They did it again. They had a big-time signing yesterday. We'll talk about it and just show you what they've done over the last couple of years as they try to run it back.
Yeah.
Win. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, this is another day outside of Michigan that you want to be at a tanning booth. And why not get it out to the best? Chili Peppers Tanning, chilipepperstanning.com. There's one right down the street from us here on Woodward Avenue. Chili Peppers Tanning, you'll have find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. And if you join the Pepper Club, they'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Check them out. 26 locations. There can be one popping up right by you. Check them out at ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
There you go. Woodward Sports Network, Chili Peppers. I need to get a tan, man. This weather is...
That's where that
gross.
That's where that natural tan comes into play.
Yeah, dude. I need a little vitamin D. Look at it outside. It is hard to not see the sun.
Out of bed today.
I know.
Yeah.
This weather is freaking depressing as all hell.
That's why Chad doesn't live here.
Yeah,
man.
Chad should take us all to Florida with him. We should just move the whole operation. We're out of here.
You couldn't leave Michigan, man.
I could leave in a minute. Wasn't for my kids, I'd be long gone.
You said Max could leave?
Long gone.
You said Max could leave, Ryan?
I think you could leave.
What? The Tigers, the Lions?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I've got to
His
go to
family,
a place.
his girls?
I got to go to a place
No,
that
he
has
wouldn't
4
leave. Make
sports
them go
teams.
with him.
It doesn't matter. This is he'll take the franchise.
Take the family.
But the franchises are here.
You're right, Bray.
You wouldn't lead these franchises. You're too invested.
I can't go somewhere where there's not great sports. Yeah. I cannot.
Well, you're here.
Florida don't have great sports.
No, they don't.
You got to go all over the freaking place. Here, we go down the block and we're right there. All the sports right there.
All
in the
of them, Maz. All of them.
Sorry, almost
We've got great history.
Drink.
We don't have great presidents.
Bobby Wagner, 5 years, $50 million.
That's nothing
for the Rams, and who knows what that contract will be like at the back end.
He
you know
can
what
get
I mean?
65.
Right, 65. Who knows if he'll spend 5 years with it? It doesn't matter if he lasts 5 years with the Rams or not. I mean, they are going for it again.
And this is what I'm talking about. And not saying that who said that Bobby Wagner will come to Detroit, but you still got to pitch him. It's on you to make the sell. There's been a lot of people that have done things and gone in different companies, different corporations, because they got pitched the right way. Places they never thought that they would go. Corporations they never thought that they would work for. Jobs they never thought that they would get because of the pitch, because of how it was presented to them. Bobby Wagner is a guy, man, I told you, 8 all pros in a row. 6 first, 2 second. The guy is nothing but a tackling machine. He's a leader. That stuff is infectious. You bring that type of talent around here, you put him in the middle, you put him on that defense that already loves to play for Dan Campbell, that's already a physical style defense. You got defense. They got some things in Detroit. Now, I will say that they do have some things. You saw some moments last year. You saw in the Ravens game. You saw in the first Minnesota Vikings game. You saw in the Kyler Murray Cardinals game, that cluster F that was the Cardinals in December. You saw some good things from them. You put a guy like Bobby Wagner in there. You put a guy like Tyrann Mathieu. I'm not telling you to go break the bank and bring in everybody and try to win in 1 year, but it's about key moves, key places. I really like that for Detroit. I love it for the Los Angeles Rams.
And if you take a look at just what they've done over the last couple of years, too, I mean, F them picks, isn't that the thing? Matthew Stafford, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Odell Beckham Jr., Allen Robinson. It's, you know what this reminds me of?
Yeah.
The Red Wings back in the day. You know, the Red Wings every single year just trying to reload and go for the jugular. Try to win that cup every single year. They were making the playoffs, 25, 26 years in a row, whatever the streak ended up being.
25, it was them and the Spurs. Spurs left the year before them, and then they flamed out.
If there was any team in the world, if there was any team in this country that had the belief of F them picks more than the Detroit Red Wings organization for the better part of a quarter century, it was the Detroit Red Wings, because they didn't have any for the better part of 25 years, because they were just so good year in, year out, competing for Stanley Cup championships, competing for President's trophies, winning 100 points every year. I mean, come on.
Listen, if I asked you guys back then, you want to give up some of these cups and maybe be more relevant all these past 7 years that we've been terrible?
No.
Would you give up those cups?
0.
No. You know
Not
what? You win your 4 cups. Let's say two of them in the McCarty early years, 2 in the late years. Give those 2 late ones up to stay relative, to keep your draft picks, to make the playoffs 25 straight years. Would you give it all up to continue to make the playoffs all these years, but to not win a cup? I wouldn't. I think Ken Holland, he did what they let him do. He did what they let him do, and we all blame him now for it. Now he's with the Oilers and fighting for his job over there. Kenny Holland was a good man, and he did a hell of a job here. Now it's up to Steve Yzerman to bring us back to the glory days.
Hindsight is 2020. I just love what they're doing. It's about building foundation. They built that foundation 2 years ago when they had Jared Goff on their staff. They still got to the playoffs. They still made it to the playoffs with that team. They didn't get it done. Next year they moved Jared Goff here. They take Matt Stafford, and now they're getting it done. They're going to be relevant for a very long time, the way in which they built it. The other side of that is, though, you're relevant because you got a guy in Aaron Donald, who's arguably the best defensive player of all time. Keyword arguing. I don't want to piss my ass off when it comes to LT. He's arguably the best defensive player of all time. When you have that in the middle, you can put things around him, and they've done a good job of that. How long is that window? And for the Los Angeles Rams and Snead with F them picks, what does that snapshot of that window look like? When do you think it comes to a close?
When Matthew Stafford's done, because for as great as Aaron Donald is, maybe even the best player
In
the league, maybe the best defensive player short of LT. He had 0 Super Bowl titles before Matthew Stafford came on board.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you how important the quarterback position is. And, you may laugh here in Detroit that Matthew Stafford sucks and he didn't win any championships here, didn't win any playoff games here. He needs a good team, but so do other players need a good quarterback. Aaron Donald needs a good quarterback to be a champion. Odell Beckham Jr. needed a good quarterback to be a champion.
He just needed somebody to throw him the ball.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is football is the ultimate team sport, but you need that player.
You can't say but after you say that.
I do, because you could have the greatest team in the world, but if your quarterback sucks, chances are you're not going to win. Now, I know Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl championship, and I know Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl championship, but those
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer.
Look at Russell Wilson's number the year they won the Super Bowl, though. He had regular, average pedestrian stats. He didn't start balling until 2 years after he won. That's the only reason I use him. To your point, he's 100% a first ballot Hall of Famer. But the year they won the Super Bowl, he still had regular stats: 3,200 passing yards, 18 touchdowns. It still was regular, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just think you got to have a special quarterback to win, and now more than ever, to be honest with you. And for all the Trent Dilfers and Brad Johnsons, who's that Brad Johnson in the last 10 years? Who's that Trent Dilfer in the last 10 years? I mean,
Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
Nick Foles did win. You're right about that. That's a good call. No, I mean,
but I'm literally I'm grabbing at needles in a haystack. To your point.
Yeah, I mean, I just think especially now, football is the
NFL. You gotta have that guy.
The NFL is as competitive top to bottom as it's ever been. Yeah. There's more great players in the NFL now than that I can think of. And I'm 43. Since I've really started paying attention over the last 30 years.
That's all you are?
Yeah, how old do you think I am?
So freaking young.
I feel like you're so young sideways. Just think you need a good quarterback. You need a really good quarterback to win.
You got to have a quarterback to win. I definitely agree with you, because for much as we talk about I don't want to not give the credit to Von Miller and what he was able to do in the playoffs, the end of the season. You don't want to talk about Leonard Floyd. Finally, I used it right. What Aaron Donald was able to do. Jalen Ramsey being a lockdown corner, although he struggled a little bit in the playoffs, being an out of phase quarterback. But you got to give credit to Matthew Stafford for what he did. He had one of the best, if not the best, playoffs of all time. Maybe he and Flacco had a similar type playoff. He was balling out of control. He made the throws when necessary. They struggled at times, but whenever it was time to make that play, he was right there ready to make a play. So I can't deny anything that Matt Stafford did last year in this playoffs.
To answer your question, though, how long do the Rams stay in go-for-it mode? As long as Matthew Stafford is playing at an elite level.
Hey, we all thought it was going to be, they're done. They won this year. No one's staying. But everyone's staying.
Yeah.
And they're adding.
And then some.
And then they're redoing contracts. Matthew Stafford gets a new deal. It's only a matter of days before Aaron Donald gets a new deal. He ain't retiring. Remember they said he was going to retire?
Yeah.
He ain't going anywhere.
It's so funny. I wore that Rams shirt on this past Monday, and I had the hat in the car. I was going to wear the Rams hat in the car, but I just got a haircut, so what the hell. I kept the hat off, and I put it in the front of the car, and looks pretty good up there. And then I get to looking at who the Rams have on their team. Who's the wide receiver I want the Detroit Lions to pick up?
Robert Woods? Allen Robinson?
There you go, Allen Robinson. Yeah. Who's my guy on the Rams team? Who's my boy? OBJ. What linebacker did I want the Lions to pick up?
Bobby Wagner.
Who do I keep saying is the best defensive player of all time?
Aaron Donald.
Even grew to love Matt Stafford last year. You know what? I think I'm a Rams fan.
You are a Rams fan.
I'm a Rams fan. You're going to start. And their colors are nice. I'm coming in hot this year.
You like the unis?
Yeah, I do.
I think they killed the unis.
I do.
Yeah, I think the Lions should get some new uniforms, too, while they're at it.
That was good.
It was.
Guys, the Lions do have some money to play with. Is there a free agent out there that you believe they should go sign right now? We'll tell you where they stand in terms of salary cap space, and we'll give you a couple of free agent names that are still out there. Should they pick them up? We'll do a little Final Four talk as well. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. You didn't hear my free agent drop, by the way.
I did not.
I said, is Jesus available?
At Wing Snub, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. we're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of flavors, sparkling flavor energy drinks, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Check this out. Citron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, who's got my boy D-Mac. Oh, my God. Happy birthday to D-Mac. One more time, the Big 5-0. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons and exclusively sold here at Birmingham Roast and LCA. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, then Citron has to be your choice. They are not only here to give you energy. They're not only here to provide you with H2O and make you feel good, make your skin look all nice and glistening like mine looks right now. They are also here for the moments, be it birthday parties, be it special events, be it you name it. Whatever the event is, they want to be there. They want to be a part. They want to be there forever. Buy online at CitronWorld.com with promo code REDWINGS10. Drink it, live it with Citron.
Hey, guess who joined our family?
Hey,
Big Boy
Big
Restaurant.
Boy.
Look at the Big Boy.
Elias.
Here, look, here's the Big Boy. Look.
We got the picture in front of Big Boy.
That's my logo, you know. And with all my fantasy sports, that's my logo.
Oh, wow.
I love the Big Boy. I'll be there tomorrow morning, by the way, on Mack Avenue on Grosse Pointe. Ryan, you want to join me?
Sure, let's go.
Slippery
I'm in.
Pete Spivak
Let's do
for
it.
the breakfast buffet.
I'm in.
But tonight's
I got
Friday.
some gift cards.
Today, me too. I got a couple of bucks. Tonight is Friday, so for you Catholics out there, anyone that celebrates the Lenten season, the Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy's, including the Friday night seafood buffet. It goes till April 24th. Catch it while you can. Fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn shrimp, and pike perch. How about the new fish sandwich available at all participating locations? Get to Big Boy.
Elias Brothers.
There you go. Look at that.
What you got for me over there on a Friday, Ryan Ermanni?
All right, so I told you that I liked all of the things that the Lions were doing this offseason because none of the contracts that they were signing would hamstring them based on the salary cap. All of these deals are really cap-friendly, team-friendly deals, prove-it deals, and it gives the Lions the ability to, if they see a player they desperately want, they have the flexibility and the ability to go get that player. So the Lions, if you put this stat up, they have the 6th most money to spend in all of the NFL. They've got about $20 million to spend if they so choose. Only the Carolina Panthers, Colts, Texans, Browns, and Saints have more money to spend than do the Detroit
Saints?
Lions. The Saints.
They still have money?
They were $90 million over the cap or $200 million over
They still have money?
I don't know how that works, man.
No.
I just don't. I don't know how the salary cap works, and I'm not afraid
Abolish
to
the
say
salary cap.
Here's another one.
I'm not afraid to say it.
Abolish it.
Look at number 8. How the hell do they still have money? Oh, that's right, because they got a rookie deal quarterback.
Chargers.
Oh, look at that. That's fake money. That's
It
fake
is
news.
fake. Why even do it? Like,
Yeah.
why even have a salary cap if you could just alter
Circumvent it.
Alter
The
it
Rams
however
are over
you want to
too.
do it.
Let's get Mike Tannenbaum back on here
Yeah.
to explain the salary cap to us.
Seriously.
I think that'd be good.
I mean,
I'd
why
love it.
even have
Yeah,
the
let's
salary
do that.
cap if you could just do whatever you want to circumvent it? But there are some players out there, and I want to know if there's a free agent player out there that you would hope that the Lions go after. And some of the names still available.
They don't get
Melvin
anybody I
Ingram,
want. None.
Akeem Hicks, Landon Collins, Cole Beasley, Kyle Van Noy, Kyle Van Nott, Sammy Watkins, Xavier
How do you
Rhodes,
know it?
Stephon Gilmore, Sheldon Richardson.
Stephon Gilmore's still out there.
Before I answer your question, I don't understand that, man.
What's up?
This guy won Defensive Player of the Year. He's 3 years removed. I know Sam knows it. I think he's 3 years removed from winning Defensive Player of the Year. The Patriots don't bring him back after he wins Defensive Player of the Year. Then he goes to Carolina on a 2-year deal. They don't bring him back. But he's still balling, though. Like, when you look at his stats, he still has good stats. I don't know what it is, but, hey, it's got to be something.
Got me.
Somebody's seen something that we haven't seen. But is there anybody on that list?
Is there a free agent right now that you wish they get? Or like
it doesn't matter anymore. They don't listen to me anyway.
There's nobody on this. There's nobody here that I particularly
How about Melvin Ingram? He did well last year when he got plugged into the Chiefs.
But you got
that's your guy.
You got DeAndre Swift. Are you talking about Melvin Ingram?
The defensive player.
No, I do like Melvin.
Well, they
Ingram.
got Jared Davis.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Lions got Jared Davis, guys. They don't need Melvin Ingram. Okay. Alex Anzalone.
I like him.
What I will push back on the Jared Davis deal is this.
Great hair.
Jared Davis was drafted. Quinn Tricia wasn't coached up the right way. They played him out of position.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that, so I do have to take that into account when I think about bringing him
Play
back.
here.
Out of position. They shouldn't have drafted him. Bad coaching, bad team, bad scenario. Everything was bad, if you will. He leaves, goes to the Jets. He gets hurt, has COVID, doesn't play much. But the Jets were high on him. The Jets did say good things about the time there. They were expecting a lot out of him. They were expecting him to play at a high level, what they saw in the offseason and what they saw in training camp. So what the hell? I mean, you know what? Hey, you got him. Hey, hopefully he does something well. But on that list, it's not like the Lions are going to listen to me anyway. I love Melvin Ingram. I loved a lot of these free agents, but they won't go after him. They're doing it their way. So I'm done suggesting.
All right, fair enough. Final four tomorrow, guys. Just a little bit, just really quick, into it a little bit. I got to believe that first game is, Kansas. There's something about Bill Self that I just feel like is the most slimy individual I've ever seen in college athletics. Jay Wright.
Including Calipari?
Yeah, well, yeah, including Calipari.
Hell no.
Maybe they go 1 and 1A. And they can
Calipari
fight it out
is
for, one, and
slime
then
ball.
1A is Self. Jay Wright in Villanova runs a pretty darn good program, and how he got this little school in Philadelphia to
watch out for those Catholics.
Be an incredible, really blue blood program in the last 25 years.
Big East.
They legitimately have, 5 national championships of all time? Like, they have 5. That's a lot. They have 2 in the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wright really got his feet wet, man. They really got going in that 2016 with Randy Foye. Randy Foye played tremendously. He went to 2 back-to-back. I want to say Elite 8s. It was really good. It was drafted Minnesota, number 7 overall. They really got started then, and I think Jay Wright has just built on that year after year after year, and he's also used the tradition. Villanova in that Big East, man. Maz knows about it all too well. He knows about it way more than we do. Got going then, and he just hasn't looked back, especially, man, since that mid-2000 team, like the teams of 2000, 2015, he's been rolling, man. He coaches, he's well coached, and the guys don't leave early. A lot of these schools, UNC, you got to reload every year. You're getting the players, but you still got to reload. You got to work the new chemistry every year. Duke, same thing you're doing, and the same thing with Kansas. So what Jay Wright is able to do, he's able to pick good players. He's able to coach a good brand of basketball. He's able to keep up. But he's able to keep guys for 4 years.
Yep.
And they're building an unprecedented amount of chemistry and brotherhood between that.
They're down that player, and I can't think of his name. I'm bad. 15 points a game he averaged. He blew out his Achilles at the end of last in the Elite 8 game. That's going to kill him. And I love rooting for Villanova, as you guys know. Big East fan. They were one of the originals. Why the hell would I root for Kansas? Not a Kansas fan. Justin Moore. Averaged 15 points a game. Bill Self, I'm not a fan. The other side, the Blue Bloods from the ACC, UNC, Duke, I don't think I've ever rooted for them in any game, to be perfectly honest. But you know what? They always come out on top, it seems. So it's going to be fun. My wife's got Villanova and Duke winning it, so I hope she wins the pool. That's all I got to say.
I'm taking North Carolina. I just love what they've been able to do with Armando Bacot down there, and the big guy,
Bill Walton. He looks like Walton.
He does. One thing I love about college basketball still, it's still the only place where the big man is the guy. The big man is dominant. You get a point guard, and you can go far. Caleb Love, the 2-guard, has been playing amazing. You saw that 27-point
he has unlimited range. So does Bacot.
Bacot, too. And then, the point guard is playing tremendous. He's getting everybody involved. They literally just moved him to point guard, I want to say, towards the end of the year. So he's distributing well. That's how they're playing well. They have 4 guys. In their games in the tournament so far, they've had 4 different leading scorers.
I almost feel like Kansas is going to blow out Villanova. And maybe it's the injury to your guy Moore there, Justin Moore.
Yeah.
But they just can't score. They play like 7 guys. So that they're not that deep. I feel like that is a blowout type game.
It would make for the best story if if Kansas was able to win it all. Because we know that then they would have to turn around and relinquish
and
the
go
trophy.
to jail?
Seriously.
They would have to turn around and relinquish the trophy. They're facing 5 criminal charges from the FBI, and that's not nothing to sneeze at. Like, anytime the FBI jumps in, this isn't an NCAA investigation. NCAA, that's before you get to criminal. That's before you get to the law. The law has already jumped in. The FBI, 5 accusations.
Kansas is going to blow Villanova out.
Yeah.
That's my prediction, and I should be out of the predicting business. But if you look at Villanova, there's 5 guys that play all the minutes. And if you're telling me that one of those guys that plays all the minutes is now out, they just don't have the depth to compete with Kansas. They might hang around for the first half, but later in the game, I think Kansas just pulls away from them. They simply don't have the depth. They don't have the numbers there.
One thing Kansas does well, and I think Michigan State is going to take a page of that this year in this offseason, is the transfer portal. Kansas has a lot of players that they picked up from the transfer portal, one of them being Remy Martin. Remy Martin was the Pac-12 Player of the Year last year. He led the league in scoring, and then he went to Kansas to finish his career, and he's done nothing but be great for them all season. He's been really good in the tournament as well. You got a point, man. They blow those guys out. They're feeling high. They haven't really had a close game, to be honest. So.
And the first time, I can't still believe that Duke and North Carolina are playing each other in the tournament, let alone the Final Four. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I love that Saturday Final Four. It's as fun as it gets. Wish we could have had one of our teams in there, though.
Yeah, and this is a fun Final Four. You know, for all of the talk about Cinderella and all that stuff, St. Peter's, I do like it when the big teams are in it. Like now at this point, I want to see Duke, Carolina, Kansas.
You don't want to see the Peacocks?
Right. Duke? No, nobody wants to see the Peacock. Like,
guess what? They played in 3 of the highest-rated games in March Madness history.
The Peacocks have played in 3 of the what?
Highest-rated games.
3 of what? Like how many? Like what was their rank?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read. This year, they played in the 3 top-rated games on TV. St. Peter's.
Look at that.
People were rooting for them. So you get off their ass, man.
There's one thing when you get excited. There's I don't know. I just don't think people tune in and see the Peacocks play North Carolina in the final championship. I don't think that's going to do the most.
That's because you don't like the playoff like I do.
No, it has nothing to do with that because I love the Final Four. I love this time of year. I love seeing Cinderella stories. I'm all for that. I don't like it in football and basketball. It's been in here forever. It's all I know. So I'm cool with that. I just don't think in the grand scheme of things that game with North Carolina and the Peacocks would have drawn more than North Carolina and Kansas.
Hey, Braylon, I want to hit you up on a couple of different items next segment. Number 1, Cade Cunningham took what many people believe is going to be the NBA MVP, and Joel Embiid took him to school in the fourth quarter last night. Remarkable effort out of Cade. Also, WrestleMania.
About that time. I was waiting for it.
2-night spectacular. I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, I'm still curious to see how this 2-night spectacular.
Well, they did it last year and the year before. So this is the 3rd year in a row.
Is it really? Shows you what I know about WrestleMania these days.
Shows you that I watch too much of it.
All right, well then you can lay the smack down on my candy ass next.
Where's it at, by the way?
Dallas, right?
Dallas. Actually got
Jerry Dome.
I got a picture. I went to last time it was in Dallas. I went with Jeff.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network.
Look at that.
The bottom line. Check
you guys are geeking out.
Totally. Can't wait.
All the geeking out you do? It's about time I get to geek out a little bit.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house that tells the bad guys one thing. It says,
Stay
out. That's right. Guardian Alarm helps you feel secure, whether it's your home or your business. State-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even gonna let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number above my head right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call it again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Convenient features, Alex says. WrestleMania. 2 nights.
Pistons first?
Yeah, okay, fine. Pistons first.
Let's get that out of the way.
Let's get that out of the way.
I'm talking WrestleMania the rest of the
The Pistons are playing some pretty darn good basketball.
Boy, are they.
I mean, they're just this is starting to be and feel like you got something going. And I'll tell you, Kate Cunningham gets a lot of love, and so does Sadiq Bey. Let me tell you something. Killian Hayes is playing his butt off, too. Killian Hayes at 19, 20 years old, whatever he is.
Good to see you give Killian some love.
He is improving. He is looking like he's got a spot on this team for many years to come. I am very impressed with what I see out of Killian Hayes. I dogged him early.
Yes, you did.
Dogged the pick. We all did. But I want to give this guy credit because as the season has gone on,
I'll tell you why.
this is essentially his rookie year. He was out with an injury last year. He's trying to find himself in the league. Still a young player. Still trying to find himself. I am very impressed with Killian Hayes for all the love that Cade gets and Sadiq Bey gets and Isaiah Stewart. Shout out to Killian Hayes, man. I see you.
Shout out to Rod Beard, wherever you are, because Rod Beard told us that this was going to happen. He told us Killian Hayes was hurt last year. You had Cade Cunningham was injured going into this year. They didn't have any type of chemistry. They hadn't found themselves. They didn't know who was going to be on ball, off ball. You look at Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was the guy that was scoring a ton of points last year for the Pistons. Even was a all-star caliber numbers player last year. Didn't make the all-star. He did not make the All-Star, however. It took this team a while to get going. They're coming from being a bad team. You got a lot of young talent, a lot of injuries. It takes a while to get going. It takes a while to find that confidence. It takes that while to kind of find your spot, find where you are. And I think the way in which Cade has been this year, the way in which he has developed, each month he's gotten better. Each year he's gotten better. Not year, it hasn't been years yet. Each game he's gotten better. And he's talked about that, not wanting to be rookie of the first 3 weeks of the season, wanting to be rookie of the year, meaning he got better and better. And that's what you're seeing. Cade has now gotten to this place. He's fearless. Like, he played against Joel Embiid and James Harden and was fearless. He had 22 at the end of the third quarter, finished with 27, made the shots down the stretch to make it work. Sadiq Bey went off in the fourth quarter as well, really helped them guys get going. Playing some good. They're playing too good. They're going to mess around and finish with the 5th best record and lose out on a chance to get your boy Jaden Ivey and a couple others. But they're just starting to come together because they played together. Consistency is what makes things good, what makes things great. It's consistency. And when the more you're in there together, the more you're in the jungles together, the better out you are.
Shout out to our friend Rod Beard because he got himself a promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going off the Pistons beat, and he's going to be assistant sports editor of the Detroit News.
There we go.
Congratulations to Rod Beard. That is fantastic stuff.
I mean, we love him. You know, we're still going to talk Pistons with him, but he's going to be he's a big shot. I watched the game last night at the bowling alley. I was really enjoying it. The only thing I didn't like is I didn't see the score on the TV. Was I missing something?
You must have been watching a different ratio on
the television. Because I didn't see the score.
I told you, I was like, well, just watch it on your phone.
He's like, what are you doing?
So anyway, they look so good, and Scotty G gave it to us yesterday. They're the hottest team in the NBA at least covering the spread. They moved to 18-2 against the number in the last 20. That's unbelievable.
So they are one game better than the Houston Rockets and Orlando Magic for the worst record in the NBA. Magic,
so we're top 3.
Yeah, we're top 3 right now. We're a game and a half below the 4th Oklahoma City Thunder. And Pistons better lose tonight. They play Oklahoma City tonight. Be nice to lose to that team.
I want to see the spread on that game.
I believe it's 4.5 because I've got the score right here.
That's what I was going to go to.
Pistons preview.
It's just it's fun to watch. You know, you see them. You see Kevin Durant give Cade Cunningham his flowers. You see DeMar DeRozan give him his flowers. You see Doc Rivers actually talk about Cade Cunningham. He dissed James Harden, which was very funny, very interesting. I've seen that play out before. But it's just very good to see that happen. The one thing I will say for the Pistons, they got to get a big guy in there somewhere. Like, I know they have Marvin Bagley Jr.
Jabari
He's fun.
Smith.
He's athletic. I get that. But when you're playing against these bigs, man, like the NBA is starting to kind of go back towards the way of bigs. Like it had gone the way of the point guard. It had gone the way of the small forward. And you see all those guys had a success. But slowly but surely, you see Embiid creeping in. You see the Joker creeping in. You see Giannis coming in, kind of, sort of.
But Jokic and Embiid, they could draw you out and
but that's what
knock down 3 or 4 triples a game.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to get a guy like that. So I'm looking for that guy.
That'd be nice.
You want Chet?
Well, I've already said I love Chet.
I don't want Chet.
He's skinny, man.
No.
Kevin Durant's skinny. There's a ton of skinny players in the NBA that come in there year one. Do you remember what Giannis looked like? Do you remember
He
what
ain't Kevin Durant.
You said what?
He ain't Kevin Durant.
Who?
I love it when you
Chet?
say that, by the way, Braylon.
You said you love it.
I said he's not Kevin Durant.
But okay, what, you didn't say anything about Giannis?
Giannis wasn't that skinny.
Do you remember what Giannis looked like?
Obviously not.
Giannis was the same size as Chet. Am I lying, Alex? When Giannis used to have bald head, when he was low cut. Whatever.
Right. Okay, no.
Oh, man.
I'm
Giannis
with you.
would have looked good in a Pistons
If you say
uniform.
Chet, I'll take Chet.
There's a lot of string. He was never skinny. There's a lot of string beans that put on weight in the NBA. Basketball players typically aren't muscular guys. It takes them a while sometimes. And
he looks like Sean Bradley.
I ain't never seen Sean Bradley do what Chet Holmgren did at Gonzaga.
Hey, can you explain to me about WrestleMania? This
two nights.
Yeah, how does that work?
So they have a main event each night. So the main event for first night will be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. You got the man, Becky Lynch. She's back. She stole the title from Bianca Belair at SummerSlam and hasn't looked back. So she is going to be in the main event with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is now back. And then night 2, the main event is going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They're unifying the belts.
So Stone Cold is going to fight in this WrestleMania?
Stone Cold is not scheduled to fight right now. He's scheduled to interview with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens called him out to come on the show. Kevin Owens, KO, guy from Canada, Manitoba, somewhere I believe, or maybe Montreal. I could be right with Montreal.
One of the M's.
One of the M's. It's Manitoba, Montreal. But he does a show. He called out Stone Cold. Keep in mind, Kevin Owens asked Stone Cold 3 years ago, could he use a stunner? So KO's been using the stunner for the last 2 years,
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be interesting. You can see the setup. Stone Cold won't wrestle. He'll come out, sit in the chair, give him a couple middle fingers, and just stunning.
And then, of course, now the Hall of Fame is tonight, right?
Hall of Fame is tonight, I do believe. Yes, it kicks off tonight. Undertaker goes in tonight. The Phenom, you had a chance to interview him on Wednesday. I do believe that was a great interview, by the way. I went back and watched that. Also, Michigan's own, the Steiner brothers are also they're inducted to the Hall of Fame. And you know the beef between Triple H and Scott Steiner.
No, I don't know that beef.
Oh, no, they hated each other, man.
Really?
Especially like towards the end when WCW was purchased by Shane McMahon and obviously Vince McMahon. And he came over. They had a lot of beef, a lot of steroid accusations between the two of them, flying back and forth. Didn't like each other. A lot of fights between the two.
No
but here
kidding.
They are. Yeah, here they are now. The Big Bad Booty Daddy, as he was called, Scott Steiner.
That's great. WrestleMania. What is the biggest thing you are hoping to happen at WrestleMania? You hoping to have any Hulk Hogan sightings or The Rock or anything like that? Or
what I hope they do is they kind of start the prep for Rock and Roman next year. Rock and Roman is what they've been prepping for SoFi. WrestleMania is at SoFi next year.
Okay.
Rock, Roman, that's like the big one. That's what they wanted to happen this year. It didn't happen this year. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope The Rock comes out there. Somehow they get into a stare down or something at the end of night 2 when Roman wins, because he's going to be Brock yet again. He's going to have both belts. I'm hoping that we get something to get us excited for next year. And then also, I'm hoping Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is back. He left AEW.
Giving him a big push, too.
Yeah, he's getting a big push. He's back. He left AEW, which he helped start, by the way. He left. He's back with the WWE. Seth Rollins, who's my number 3 entertainer in the WWE, doesn't have anybody to fight right now. Rumor is he's going to fight against Cody.
AEW.
I'm WWE.
Love it. Maz, what do you think about all this?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
Dynamite.
The last time I paid attention was the Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik.
That was WrestleMania 2.
At the B. Brian Blair. Let's go.
I saw them at the Meadowlands Arena.
Himself.
Now, speaking of heat, we talked about Claude Lemieux and how he had to deal with real heat. Well, heat is the term they use in WWE. It means people hate you. He had to deal with real hate, like after the Draper situation. Yeah. The real thing, same thing happened with Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik was playing the role, but it was really happening in real life.
Wow.
It was Tehran. It was Iran.
Russia, number one. It was Iran, number one. USA.
So it was Iran versus USA in real life, and then it was Iran. Well, this is Art Imitates Life, and he really was getting. Hey, people were trying to kill Iron Sheik because he played the character so well. People trying to kill him in real life.
You want a Twitter follow on?
He's the best.
I mean, it is.
He's
if
the
you
best.
are not following the Iron Sheik on Twitter, you are doing Twitter wrong.
He's the best.
It is the most entertaining Twitter you will ever have in your life.
He is the best.
Ermanni and Edwards, big Maz's videos of the day. We'll do it next.
I got some Tiger news, unfortunately.
Oh no! Oh God!
Yeah, he sounds sad.
That's not good.
Somebody got hurt.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Damn. Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line, man. Sheesh.
Oh no.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hey, Bray.
I'm trying to see back. I'm trying to see what's going on with Riley Green. I do apologize. It's that time. Gypsy vodka. Guess what? If Riley Green's hurt, I'm be drinking some of that tonight because I definitely had the Tigers going far this year. Michigan's own gluten-free vodka. It is smooth as silk. Gluten-free. Ryan, I'm telling you, gluten-free. This is the way to go. Corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. They're trying to be as healthy as they can with alcohol, and they're doing a damn good job. Gypsy vodka. Ask for it by name at the liquor store. Just ask by Gypsy. But if you're going to drink, remember to drink responsibly.
All right, man. Let's have the breaking news.
Well, Riley Green's having a hell of a spring.
Yes.
We're hoping that he's coming up with the big club here as far as next week goes. Unfortunately, fouled the ball off the inside part of his foot today. 3rd inning. They are waiting for the X-ray results. And there's a lot of people that are holding their breath right now because that guy was going to do some good things here.
Yeah, you know,
let's hope it doesn't slow down the train. Let's hope it don't slow down the train.
Let's not put him on the 10-day DL before the season starts here, Maz.
It's called the IL now.
IL.
Look, man, you don't put bad things out there, they don't happen. So Riley Green will be just fine. It's a little precaution, some cautionary measure. He'll be fine. I'm putting that good energy out there. He'll be good.
He's not. I'm blaming Maz. Time of the day, we like to play
Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right. Last night, I want to start you off with this. Actually, it was the day before. The Denver Nuggets are playing, and they're going to their on-court reporter, Scott Hastings. So the studio host is asking about an injured player. So they throw it out to Scott Hastings. You got to love this, Ryan.
I love Scott Hastings.
Did you see this?
No, but Scott Hastings was one of my favorite Pistons.
Watch this.
Before I let you go, Hastings, I saw JaMychal Green warming up behind you. Any word yet on if he's able to go tonight? I think he was questionable coming into this game.
I'll ask him. Where'd he go?
Yeah,
Hey,
he was on the...
Hey, JaMychal, you playing? No, he's not playing. That's how you do it. You gotta wait for all these letters. You gotta wait for all these letters and stuff to come out. Just ask the dude. He said he wasn't playing.
Hastings, thank you for that amazing insight. We appreciate it.
How good is that?
So one of the reasons why I love Scott Hastings, one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite Pistons of all time. No, not because he was the white guy on the team.
I never said that. That was Bill Laimbeer anyway.
The Great White Hope.
So after they won their second championship in Portland, the team is like celebrating in the locker room, and Hastings is out there with all the wives. Sitting in the hallway drinking champagne with all the wives.
Nice.
It was so
He's all
great.
kind of
I'll
guy.
never forget it.
Scott was like, y'all go ahead and have all that guy play.
He's sitting there in the hallway with all the wives.
Hey,
Love
speaking
it.
of the Nuggets, I think Austin Rivers play for the Nuggets.
Yeah, he did. He used to.
Yeah, he did
Okay.
2 years
He
ago.
might
a year ago.
now, currently too.
A couple nights ago, did you see?
Yeah, he did play for the Nuggets
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, the fake
a couple
elbow.
nights ago, he gets thrown out. Just in case you
Dumb.
missed this, look at this, and you can roll the sound as well.
It's just moronic.
So if you're not watching that now, you're just listening. Basically, Austin Rivers fakes an elbow at Lance Stephenson, who plays for the Indiana Pacers. Fakes an elbow, doesn't hit him at all. I don't even think he touched the chin hair
He didn't.
on Lance Stephenson's face. Was called for a flagrant 2, thrown
Dumb.
out of the game. And what makes this even worse, they went to the scores table, they reviewed it, and still threw him out of the game. I was just about to give the NBA their credit because they've done a good job of not calling a ton of fouls. You see James Harden. James Harden hasn't actually been the real same player that he used to be. Remember, he used to get a lot of foul calls at the top of the key. They don't call that BS anymore. I was ready to give them credit, and they pull a move like this.
Yeah.
There's no place for that softness.
Same for Trae Young. Remember how he used to always lean into you and they call that foul?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
They've gotten a lot better.
That's bad, man.
That's awful.
That's so
Not
bad.
good.
That's awful.
All right, here's one for you. Have you ever tried to work out with one of those stretchy rubber band things you put on
Yes.
the door?
Yes.
Look what this poor bastard had to just do.
Called bands.
Look at this.
Called bands.
Ready? Listen.
About
It's
slap in the
coming
back of
down
the
on
head.
him.
I see it coming.
Show that again, Alex.
Oh no!
Oh,
Are
mama.
you kidding
Hoochie
me?
mama.
Holy!
Look at him. He's all fluffed up.
Fluff.
Look at him. Ah!
I love the word fluff too.
So what that tells me is this poor idiotic individual. When you use those bands, typically they have a piece on there that's like I don't know how to describe it, but it has a key ring on it, and it's like a little piece of whatever. It goes on the end of that. When you pull it, that part sticks in the door in case you want to do something like that. He probably didn't have it. He just had that band. You saw it. It probably made a mark in the back of his neck.
Jesus Christ.
That poor bastard.
That's pain.
I gotta see it one more time,
Nah,
please. It's Friday.
Watch his
It's Friday.
Watch his back. Just watch his whole body like tighten up
I
when
like
he
the way
gets
he's
slapped.
listen to his scream.
Watch that body tense up.
The demise of another human being.
He was squirming around like a fish out of water, boy.
You see his toes curled up down there?
Man,
Yeah, the toe
that
curl.
back, man, it's like he's rigor mortis.
Okay,
Can
my
you
last.
imagine if that was Maz doing it?
Oh my God.
Maz would have fainted. Maz would have fainted.
Maz would have got knocked out.
I couldn't-
Fall face first.
I couldn't even reach that damn far. Are you kidding me? Hey, one team that does not need a backup quarterback are your Detroit Lions. You know why? I saw Tim Boyle, TB2, TB12, working out today. Check him out.
You know, I'll tell you, as you're watching this, pretend you don't know that this is Tim
Yeah,
Boyle.
look.
Okay? Pretend you don't know this is Tim Boyle, and you just think this
Look at
is
him leading the receivers.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean it. You could have fooled me.
Seriously.
I didn't know that's Tim Boyle. I didn't know.
If this was Kenny Pickett or what's the North Carolina?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Oh, look
You'd
at
be
Sam.
like, oh my God.
Wow, he looks
32,
good.
Howell, give him to me.
Oh, give me that pick right there.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Oh my God, that's his pro day. Oof. Look at that.
Did you see that rush he avoided?
I did.
Wow. Did you see that?
Oof.
Nice dump pass there. Plug your mic in. Your mic's unplugged.
Now let me ask you.
You guys are trying to convince yourself that TB12 is that guy. Stop it. That's how every quarterback starting now at the age of 12 does drills, does footwork,
That's
does
what we're
throws,
saying.
does
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
He looks like them.
You could have fooled us. It could have been Matt
that's what we're
Corral
saying.
for all we know.
I'm not fooled because I know the other side.
I mean, a dumb question. You see Jared Goff out there with Amon-Ra St. Brown
Yeah.
and Josh
It's all kumbaya.
No offense, but why isn't like TB12 out there?
I don't know.
Why didn't he go out there and throw two,
What do you
know? Like they're out there in California, like
right.
golfing all the receivers.
Like Rocky and Apollo.
Like why? If you're Boyle, why don't you say, hey, can I come join you?
I mean, I don't think you have to ask. I mean, I think you just go. Like when we did it, Mark Sanchez used to do his Mission Viejo, where he went to high school. We went out there and had throwing. We threw with him, and quarterbacks do it. You typically go. Maybe they go throw with Tim Boyle as well. Maybe he throws somewhere.
There you go.
Have some guys come out there. So.
All right, that's it, guys. Hell of a week. You guys.
I think it's a start. I think it's more so the starting quarterback trying to get that time.
That's it for me.
You guys rock. I'm telling you, I was out 2 days this week. Thanks for holding the fort down.
Hey, man, that's what we do,
I
man.
had kid stuff this week, so
family.
Had to do it, guys. Had to do it. Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Hell
Get
of a
us
week,
out
man.
of here, Bray.
Hell of a week. Hell of a weekend coming up. Thank you for the week that we had. We appreciate you guys for logging in, signing in, hitting that like button. Even if you don't like we said, we just appreciate you being here, commenting. Don't have a problem with that. Great weekend ahead. Get by a TV, man. Sit back and enjoy it. You got the Final Four coming up. UNC Duke for the first time ever. WrestleMania is this week. Michigan Spring Game is being televised. There's a lot going on this week. Have fun, sit back, kick your feet up, and relax. Because next weekend, you got opening day. I'm Braylon Edwards. This is Ryan Ermanni. That's Maz over there. And you got Sam and you got Alex over here. Cross out. I was trying to figure out which way these guys were. And this is the bottom line.
Yeah, okay. Back in the game. Yeah! Oh, my God. Oh. Guys, it's my 50th birthday. We got to shoot the morning. I got a big announcement. Let's go. Meet at the office. All right, guys. Big show today. I know. Great job with the prep and whatever we're going to talk about. But you might be wondering what I'm doing. Pat McAfee said I should get back in, and play for the Wings because they stink. And they do stink. But I got to bring something up here, guys. You know what? Nowhere to keep my glasses in the hockey gear. So I'm going to make an official announcement when we get on Big D Energy today. So tune in at 11 o'clock. Neil's going to fill you in. We're going to have a great show for my 50th birthday celebration. But you know what, Pat? These are for you this weekend. Feel free to use them. Beat Austin Theory's butt ass all over that ring. And then when you're done with all this, we'll get back to Pittsburgh versus Detroit.